Ladies and gentlemen, from AT&T Stadium here in Arlington, Texas, USA, we are set to go live on Dazn with a special 8-round welterweight affair. It's all being brought to you courtesy of Mr. Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Boxing. We are sponsored by Hennessy, Never Stop, Never Settle, Air Force Reserve, Tecate, Bet Online, O'Reilly Auto Parts, Orange Crush, and Valueway. Our 3 judges scoring this contest from ringside: Robert Chapa, Don Griffin, and Anthony Moss. And at the sound of the bell, your 3rd man in the ring, referee Rosario Solis. And now, ladies and gentlemen, 8 rounds of boxing scheduled in the welterweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, standing with his head trainer, Louis Gibbs. He wears the gold and black trim. He scaled 147.8 pounds. His professional record, 11 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw, and 1 win coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of San Antonio, Texas, please welcome Xavier Miller. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner. He stands with his head trainer, Zamir Lozano. He wears the red with gold trim. He scaled 146.4 pounds. His professional record, 19 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw, and 17 big wins coming by way of knockout. Presentando de Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico, Christian Alan Gomez Duran.
This is good, this is good. I give you the respect to the dressing room. The Viva Jorge en el vestidor. Protect yourself at all times. Protect your todo tiempo. Clean fight. Touch him up. Toca los guantes.
And already for Wilson, something to fight for, looking for a little bit of respect. Got called Miller by accident in the introduction there. And he's saying, hold on a second, I've won 11 out of 13 fights. Come on, give me the respect due. We'll see if he uses that as motivation. Rosario Solis in the midst of this welterweight battle, scheduled for 8 rounds. Their gloves are up, they punched in, and we're underway in the opening round.
I had the time to watch a little bit of Xavier Wilson past fights. You know, he's a talented little guy. He's got some mettle. You know, he's going to look to bring it tonight against Gomez, the power punching Gomez.
Yeah, Gomez has been on a nice little run of late. He lost to Xavier a few months back, considerable time now, but in that time since, this is now his 4th fight, and he's won the last 3. He's coming in with a lot of confidence, and obviously he really packs the punch that's necessary. If you've got 17 knockouts amongst your 19 wins, you know you got to be watching for that shot.
That being said, Wilson has never been stopped in his 2 losses. Not much of a power puncher himself, with only one KO in his 11 wins.
29-year-old Wilson, born in the Charm City, Baltimore, Maryland. Now makes his home here in Texas, in San Antonio, just a couple hours drive south of Dallas towards the west. But fancies himself Professor X. Very big comic book fan. Loves Marvel in particular, and he looks at Professor X, you know, the leader of the X-Men. I know, Chris, you're a big follower of all of that, but he says, you know, Professor X himself can read, control the minds of others. He likes to control his bouts. He likes to get in there and start to assert his power.
Well, that would be an interesting power to have in a boxing ring, being able to control your opponent's mind. Let's see if Wilson can do that with the very tough Christian Gomez.
Yeah, if he can't control the actions of Gomez Duran by telepathy, he's certainly going to try to do it with his fists, as they're finding themselves just that little feeling out period of just trying to get a range, get a feel. There you see an Niñote on the waistband of Gomez. A big boy with the big hands and the big fists.
You know, Gomez hasn't thrown a whole lot of power shots yet, but I've seen the jab. It looks very hard so far. He's landed a few of them. Actually landed a nice right uppercut on the inside there. Hit right in the chin of Wilson.
Second consecutive fight already amongst our Before the Bell card that has a fighter, in the case of Wilson here, with some mixed martial arts background. He was a big fan and has been practicing since the age of 4. with his skill set and what we're looking for today, anything in particular you'll look for him to make a transition from sort of that discipline to his boxing style?
I mean, he looks like a boxer to me right now. You know, he's doing a good job of keeping the pace slow with the power puncher, using his jab, using his length. He does have a long reach and long arms. Using that jab. Been a little bit short with the right hand thus far, but has been looking to throw it. You know, these guys fighting an 8-rounder, you can tell the pace a little different than a 4-rounder. Both men still feeling each other out in round number 1.
Yeah, you're right about that as the final seconds tick in this opening round between the two. Yeah, they know they've got some time scheduled between them. There's no need to rush out of the gates and expend too much energy. The tail of the tape has Wilson at 2 years older at 29. He's got an extra 1.5 inches on the reach, or excuse me, the height, and 5 inches on the reach, something that Gomez will have to be wary of. We talked about that in the previous fight when Kelvin Davis was able to improve to 2-0, and being able to use that extensive reach to give some distance and find the power.
Yeah, reach is one of those attributes that you really can't change. You're not gonna get longer and taller as you get older, so you might as well take advantage of it. There we see that hard jab that I was talking about from Gomez. He didn't do a whole lot in round number 1, but he did land a nice hard jab a few times. There you see the overhand right attempt from the longer Xavier Wilson.
Yeah, economical in the punches thrown and finding their mark, but that is sort of a marker that has been left by Gomez now for Wilson to think about, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he let Wilson feel the power, kept him cautious, kept him on the end of his shots, didn't let him get too out of hand. So we'll see how this fight progresses from here.
Bit of a turf warfare as far as proximity, a little Tex-Mex action as San Antonio's Wilson from here in Texas taking on Guadalajara, Mexico's Gomez. Round 2 underway.
From the little exchanges that they have had on the inside, it looks to me that Wilson would be better served to stay on the outside the way he has been. Pump that jab, look for that overhand right. Because Gomez does seem to be the stronger of the two and feels more comfortable on the inside, it looks like.
We talked about Wilson preferring the moniker Professor X, but he also goes by the Monkey King, and there's a longer story that we'll get into as this fight unfolds as to why. But you were talking about that right overhand. He has a specialized shot that he's nicknamed the Monkey Slap. That is an extended sort of almost throwing way over the top to come down. We'll be interested to see if he tries to employ that against Gomez today.
Gomez just timed a nice overhand right of his own that landed flush on the side of the head of Wilson, and then followed by a right uppercut that landed as well.
Almost a right hand overhead that's exaggerated a bit, the aforementioned Monkey Slap. Gomez with a swing and a miss. That right hand finding nothing but air.
Ooh, there's that uppercut again. Caught Wilson as he was dipping down in front. If you're the taller, longer man, you do not want to be over your front foot that way. You don't want to dip forward, especially with an uppercutting Mexican like Gomez.
Tough to recover your balance, but also exposes you to the strength of Gomez. You're
also meeting it. You're meeting that uppercut head on. You got a guy who's got a good hard uppercut. You don't want to go head first into that. Use your reach, use your length, stay long.
Yeah, we've seen Wilson sort of do that bow, sort of get down a little bit too low and expose himself just a bit already through these 2 rounds. Gomez has taken notice of it as well.
Indicative of many Mexican fighters. Very calm, very relaxed, putting body pressure, coming forward, looking to land hard shots once he gets within range.
Oh, right through. Wilson tagged right on the crown of the nose, and he is stunned. He's having trouble finding his bearings. He's popped up.
He did not see that punch.
He did not see it. Certainly didn't see it coming, but he felt it.
Oh,
and that's it.
That's it.
No mas. As Wilson, he can't believe it. He cannot believe Rosario Solis has come in and stopped the fight here in the 2nd round. But he was tagged mightily, and boy, did he look wobbly getting up. But now he is just beside himself, cannot believe a decision has been handed to Gomez.
I couldn't really see his legs. You have to trust the referee and their discretion. Maybe he saw some kind of off balance or something in the eyes like you just alluded to, so that potentially could have been the issue. I would have liked to have seen it gone on a little longer, but
I have to believe that it was the latter of the two, because he did look wobbly. His legs were tough to get up, but he did get up. But Solis came right over, and here's a replay on the quick power, just that left hand catching the cheek and really delivering that head snap that deposited Wilson on the ground. But Solis came over and gave a deliberate look into his eyes, and I think he saw a little bit of vacancy.
Yeah, that could have been it. You always got to trust the discretion of the referee. They are closer to the action than we are. But we saw the replay of that beautiful left hook counter over the top of the right hand of Xavier Wilson. That's one thing about a longer guy. He's got a 5-inch reach advantage. That means he has 5 more inches to pull that hand back to a defensive position. He wasn't able to do that. Gomez came over the top, clipped him with that left hook right in the temple, and that's all she wrote.
Well, we know that Wilson prides himself on his self-described monkey slap punch, which he was never able to pull out of his holster because it was Gomez who just unleashed a furious left hand that found bullseye. And Xavier Wilson is no longer present and accounted for in this fight. And how about Christian Alan Gomez Duran? We talked about the fact that 8 rounds scheduled, taking their time to kind of get into it. It was the Mexican who waited, and out of nowhere, seemingly, just threw that haymaker.
Yeah, I think he saw a chink in the armor there from Wilson, who was bringing that right hand back a little bit slow, a little bit low, and caught him.
So we will await the word that will crown Gomez Duran to be able to do his thing, and boy, did he shine bright. Quick work. Business was fast, and business was good for the native of Guadalajara, Mexico. Let's get down to the ring announcer for the final word.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Rosario Solis calls a halt to this contest. The official time of the stoppage, 2 minutes and 19 seconds of round number 2. Your winner by TKO de Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico, Christian Alan Gomez